Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Friday. Friday's the day we turn to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and say, hey guys, vote us in a map, and they've gone with this one. It's a real-life location from a creator we've done once in the past, back in episode 680, where they got 9 stars. They didn't do particularly well for detailing on that occasion. They won't do particularly well on detailing on this occasion either. So much so that I'm going to have to give a actual verbal reminder, not just a spinning disc like this. A verbal reminder. Remember, be kind in the comments. Everybody is of a different standard. We make maps for different reasons, and sometimes they're a little bit disappointing to the recipients, and today's recipient is me and you as well. So if you can remember to be kind in the comments, I think you'll be able to reward yourself with a big sloppy slap on the like button. Go on. Big sloppy slaps on the like button are a really good way of supporting yourself and also supporting me, so thank you very much for that support. Today's map is Figueira da Foz, Portugal by Andrade. Okay, Figueira da Foz. I've been practicing that over and over again. I still haven't got it right. There's your start square. Lots of beautiful build space there and some interesting waterfront too. There is your height maps based on the real life location from Terrain Party, so you're getting what you would expect to get there. The resources look like this. No fertile, and I'm going to grumble about that as we get on through this show. And if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, this is what your fishing map will look like too. Off to the workshop, what do we need? Well, a leafy tree set, the Just Tropical theme, the ultimate low the ultra low tri trees, and the unlimited outside connections beta. Okay, and it's all written pretty much in Portuguese. You can translate that if you like, but it does tell us to use a Just Tropical theme and the realistic 1.2 LUT, and that's what we'll follow. Now, to give this map a bigger boost as is possible, we're going to follow on with this road right from the off. And the reason is, this is the nicest road on the map. It's got a real nice aesthetic vibe. You've got a really lovely background. It's the 6-lane vanilla 6-lane road. That's what it is. It does connect up with both sides of the map, but there is no through traffic because it doesn't actually connect. I think it's got to be a highway to make an outside connection. This one doesn't. Even with the unlimited connections mod, doesn't seem to make any difference, which is sad. But of course, if you want to make use of this is like kind of your coastal highway. Although we are a little bit inland at this location, it does sort of like follow along the coast. It gets a lot closer to the coast later on. So yeah, you could call this like the frontage highway, the one that gives you lovely views and the posh neighbourhoods, or whatever, however you wish to make it. You notice we've got a lot of trees. There are a lot of trees on the map, so you might want to have the unlimited tree mod active as well for this one. I highly recommend having that active at all times, to be honest with you. Say just switching it on and off. I know I have it permanently switched on myself. Okay, so anyway, we have this 6-lane highway. It's a perfectly lovely road. You look at it, it's going, well, it doesn't look like the map's going to be that bad in terms of detailing. Yeah. Unfortunately, I wish I could say that. I wish I could say that. Unfortunately, it just doesn't quite hold up. One thing that does hold up, though, is my Patreon BonBon buddies who voted in this map. And if you want to get to voting on forthcoming maps in the future, then head on over to patreon.com/BonBonB. Link is in the top right corner of your screen now. You become a BonBon buddy for just $1 a month. And trust me, it makes a huge difference. A huge difference. $1 is more than I probably make from all the ad revenue of all the videos that you have ever watched on my channel. So please, if you can, head on and do that. I'm not going to beg though. Well, I did say please, so that's kind of begging. Anyways, what we got going on here? Here's your first sign that there may be trouble going on ahead. Okay, there's your first sign. Back down to quite nice looking a road though, and it is quite nice looking road here, and we'll just absorb what we can of the beauty. So looking at now, you're looking at this now and you think this could be a 3 to 4 star map. It could be. I mean, we've got a lot of vanilla trees going on here, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a bad map. And there was a nice switch of blending from the regular leafy trees into the tropical palm trees there. That transition was quite nice. Then we have this little suspension bridge here, which again I'd like to see the suspension tower on each side rather than in the middle, and it does look a little bit low to the water. Again, not strictly speaking too bad, but I'd like to see it up just a fraction. As we head on over onto the main build island, probably where most of your city is going to be. And it's an interesting shape and lots of trees for clearing as well. And we head on down into, like I say, the start square. There will be an asset of the day there, and because there's so many trees, I've cleared some land with a big old road so you get a better view of said asset, which will be tucked in by the road right here. Now, although we're in Portugal, we are having a look at the KR, that's the Korean Complex Building #1 by Leaf. And this is a great looking thing. We want more stuff from Leaf. If you're producing assets like this, maybe not for you Portuguese builds, maybe there's a Korean town in Figueira da Foz. Is that what this map's called? Just no good with my languages. Factoids, because factoids. Let's do this. The average human brain, which is probably not mine, as I've already proven, weighs 3 pounds. I don't know what that is in metric. 2.2 pounds to the kilo. A bit. It weighs a bit. 3 pounds in old money. In American, that's what it is. 3 pounds in American. There you go. The KR Complex Building #1 by Leaf. And yes, I really like this little fella. I'll change the signs to something English, and I'd use it over here as well. Very neat. Right, okay, we're going to go back to the roads. I'm sorry, it doesn't get any better from here on in. You might want to look away now, maybe. Actually, you might want to look away after this bridge, because I kind of like this bridge as well. Giving credit where I can here. It's almost symmetrical. It's a really nice, pleasing curve, and that links up very neatly. This is your way in and out from the city, because this is what's going to connect to the outside world. Sadly, we're going to start off with a little bit of road glitching right there, where it just clips out of the landscape a little bit. And then I don't have any words for what follows. Apart from, what I'm going to suggest is Andrade is either outside of their pay grade in terms of what they've done here, taking on work which is just a bit beyond their skill level, and that's fine. That's fair enough. That's fair enough, believe me. I want to see the early episodes of What's Map. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So, yeah, I still don't, some would say. So, yes, there is that. The crossover going on here. You see a bit of blue mantle in the distance with clipping into cliff faces from a distance. We've got this huge embankment, which looks crazy, whereas the other one is elevated. And then they all merge in. This is your start square intersection, effectively speaking. And it only merges in one direction. So traffic coming from the bottom part of the screen there cannot get into your city. A little bit of encroaching foliage, and that highway, well, it janks right the way to the edge of the map over there. We're going to go this way, though, because it's definitely entertaining, if nothing else. Heading over this way, we've got a big elevator section, a big splash of blue mantle going on here as well. So anyway, as I was saying, either Andrade is a little bit out of their pay grade, or overground tunnels, you'll see a few of those today as well, and non-symmetrical bridges, one which is a bridge, one which is an elevated section glitching out of the ground, and a long elevated section before coming down to the ground there. And then we've got Shark's Tooth in between these two highways here, and elevated tunnel there from the rail. Well, we'll get to the rail in a minute. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves too much. Yeah, so either they just literally don't have the skill level, and like I say, that's fine, or, and I believe this is probably more likely the case, because from what I've seen, I think they do have the skill level. Because this is away from the 25 tiles, they probably rushed it. A rush job. We'll come back to that in a moment. So you probably saw something weird going on there. You did. We'll look at that when we get to the rail. Again, non-symmetrical bridges, which is one is elevated, one is at ground. One which is a bridge section, elevated section there. Big cutting there is fine. I quite like the cutting. Then you've got the embankment alongside the elevated section alongside the bridge, elevated section alongside the sloping bridge. It's just all over the place. Now the rail on the other side of it at first doesn't look too bad. Yes, there's a little bit of uppy downiness, and that is a technical term, yep. In terms of suspension of disbelief in a standard Cities Skylines type of game. Many people will not care about a little bit of up and down on the rail like this. True realists obviously will not like this at all, but they'll like what's coming up even less. So accept this for being very nice, because I would say actually in context it is. Then we got this bridge, which is half bridge and half elevated section. Can't make up its mind what it wants to be there. And then we've got an elevated section. I'm happy with the elevated section across there, that's fine. And then instead of sticking to the flat land, we go up into the mountain a little bit. And we have the little roller coaster ride going on, which is easily avoided. Then we have this, and I just have no words again. We have a rail going underneath a road-based section with loads of blue mantle underneath it. And then we have the above-ground tunnel, which has been cut through like a slice of cake. And I don't know where this traffic is going to go to, but there must be a huge pile up in there. It's just not the prettiest thing I have ever seen. Anyway, the rail then goes again up away from the flat land into the mountain to get a bit of elevation. Why? I have no idea. I'm going to, again, speculate that it was just a bit of a rush job. It's away from 25 tiles, and Andrade didn't really care too much for it because it was happening out of sight. Out of sight, out of mind. Then you got some more of this overground tunnelling, which again is not the prettiest. That shark's tooth that we saw earlier, and another janky overground tunnel coming out the other side. Do you want to see some really nice maps? Do ya? I wonder where we could find some of those.
Very few maps achieve the coveted all-star status. 5 stars for aesthetic, detail, and gameplay potential. To see them all in the all-star playlist, click the button now.
And so back to Figueira da Foz, Portugal by Andrade. And the shipping routes, and they're okay. I think they'd be improved just a little bit, as you'll see in a moment. This one stops about here, so that's okay for a harbour there. But this one here that comes from the other direction, I'd like to see extended into the bay a little bit more, so we have the option of maybe placing a harbour in these kind of areas. So yeah, that could be extended a little bit further. Other than that though, the route is absolutely fine. I have no grumbles about this whatsoever. It does follow off and around the headland here, past the rockiness. Could do with an essential lighthouse around the rockiness, possibly. Now, water flow. This isn't the main river, so to be fair, it doesn't matter quite so much. But we are going upstream while going downstream. The water is heading towards us while we're going down from the mountains. Why does this happen? The answer will be evident in a moment when we come down to the, there you go, water spawn point in the central area here, which at least is keeping the water moving, so there's credit for that. And like I say, that wasn't the main river. This area around here is the main river, and you can see we have a good water flow coming down past the start square for those of you that need it. So there is credit to be given for that, although I do feel that that water spawn point wasn't in the best place, really. Right, okay, here's your map as a whole. It's got quite a nice vibe to it, a nice feel to it. And this is why I ended up reviewing it, because it does have a real good I want to build on this kind of vibe, doesn't it? Now, the thing is, I do have a bit of a grumble regarding people that want to recreate the area of Figueira da Foz, and that is, here's where your main town area would be. It's built in this area up here. I think that's Figueira there. And then it extends across up this part of the bay here. So up the coast there. But this area here, This in real terms is farmland. It's floodplain which is being upgraded to farmland. And yet it's all forestry here, which you'll want to clear if you want to make it farmland. It extends up here as well. All of this is farmland. And of course, the start square intersection entices you to build your city there. So if you want to play this as a recreation of the real life location, it doesn't really entice you to do that. So yeah, there's plenty of, but let's talk about good things. I like the hills. I like the hills and the mountains. Yes, I know it's from Terrain Party, but that doesn't mean they work right off the bat. I like the tree coverage, looks really very good. Not so keen on the park life rocks in those locations, but we've got some really good, nice rock work along the cliffs here as well. So there is good stuff as well. But what do you think? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Click the I button now in the top right hand corner to vote for free. Right, okay, what do I think of today's map? Well, my first instinct is, it looks okay, which is why I took the map. Which is why I took on the map. I decided to give it a go. Take a look at it. We've seen the creator before. They've shown some skills. And I feel that the map, it's a middly 3. It's a middly 3. Could do without, if there were some pre-cut farms already on the central area, that would have been better. But anyway, middly 3. Detailing, very hard to be very positive about it. It could be worse. But there is an awful lot about it that holds it back. I can't go better than the low 2. I'm sorry. Gameplay potential. Okay, there's lots of things you'll want to fix, and it doesn't encourage you to play as a recreation. If it did, I would probably go into 3-star territory, but as it is, I've got to go high 2. It's almost a 3-star map for that. Figueira da Foz, Portugal by Andrade. Really good to see a recreation of a location which is not been done before, and they definitely have done plenty of those maps. And the last one, which was a desert map, was very neat indeed, so well worth checking that one out. Episode 680. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. If you're still here and you haven't cleared off, use the word of today in the comments and score yourself 100 population points just for fun. Why not? Part of an exclusive club that nobody knows about apart from you, me, and the other half dozen people that make it this far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.